All right, Stan. Well, good luck to you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. And I'll check in with you once we make it to Tazewell County. All right. Thanks a lot. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome to a brand new project here. Now, this does look like Snedderton Farm, and it is because part of our role play series here is Billy Bob and myself are going to be driving, and we're going to be taking the John Deere 7530 as well as our field service trailer to Tazewell County, Illinois, and doing a little bit of work over there on a farm that we have just basically purchased. It was part of a government foreclosure, and we're going to be going over there now. Jack is already there. Jack is already basically at Tazewell County, and we're going to be basically going there and joining him. So we have quite the drive to make here out of Colorado over to Tazewell County. Now, before we get going too far here, I do want to just give some thanks to Farmer Klein for hooking me up with this very nice Dodge Ram 2500. This has got the diesel engine in it. It's got our logo. It's got a Colorado Rocky Mountain National Park license plate. You guys know how much I love Rocky Mountain National Park, so that is very fitting there. And also it has our Grizzly Bear Sims 3 Dudes Gaming Network logo on the door. And so, as I said, like I said, Billy Bob and I are headed to Tazewell County, Illinois. It's good to actually basically be back and be here with Billy Bob. You know, if you watch my Thornton Farm series, then you know that Billy Bob traveled over to Thornton Farm from Colorado, spent some time over there with his cousin Thomas. He worked there on the farm with us there on Thornton Farm, and he and Thomas also traveled down and did a little bit of work for Sir Meerman, Reefy 1952 there. One of my good friends has a YouTube channel there, and Billy Bob went and did a little bit of work for him. So like I said, we have quite a long ways to go to drive from Colorado over to Tazewell County, Illinois. And I'm going to go ahead and without further ado, I'm going to ask you to just pause for a moment, and through the magic of video editing, we will be there in Illinois before you can shake a stick. So see you in just a moment. All right, well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tazewell County, Illinois. Now, I want to give you just a little bit of information here about this map as we drive over to the main farm. And if you look over there to the south, there we are basically headed west here on this county road. That is our main farm over there where you see the silos. And this map is version 2.0. Now, version 2.0 is not available just yet. It will be released through the Giants Mod Hub and most likely FSUK as well. Both version 1.0 is over at FSUK and also the Giants Mod Hub as well. And so I was basically kind of granted access to put this map on my channel in its 2.0 format by my good friend Eustace Farmer. Eustace Farmer obviously is not the map creator of this map, but he sought permission for me and helped me get permission to go ahead and put this map on my channel, and I appreciate that because I enjoy being able to kind of showcase maps and stuff here on the channel and be able to put that out there. I've enjoyed being able to bring you all Midtown USA before it was released. Of course, Farmer Klein has been putting that on his channel as well, and I'm very excited to be able to bring Tazewell County, Illinois to you as well, again, before it is released. So we're coming up here on our farm, what we own, our house and everything. Now, as I said, Jack is already here. Jack has been working for a couple of days. He came out here ahead of time, and then Billy Bob and myself loaded up a few things. Like I said, the John Deere tractor and we bought a brand new Dodge pickup for this trip and everything out here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to basically leave the John Deere connected to our PJ Gooseneck trailer for now, and we'll get all that stored up as time goes by. Now, I do want to point out that here is our main house here. This is where we are going to live, and Billy Bob and Jack, they have houses nearby as well. So we have a lot of stuff to do. It's obviously the first day of spring here on the map. We've got some hay that Jack has picked up from a neighboring farm that we need to put away. And basically, this was a government foreclosure. These folks got in serious debt with the government, IRS kind of things, tax issues and such. And so basically the government stepped in and basically took everything from them and then put it on the auction block, and we managed to buy that as well with funding from our investors, because you know how we've got some great investors and everything. So it comes with a pretty good selection of equipment. Most of this that you see in here is as the mod author wanted it to be, or this is how he placed it in the map. And by the way, the mod author has a YouTube channel. He is known as the Sim Station, and I will put a link in the show notes there for you to go and check out his YouTube channel. And the very special thing about this map is this is basically based on his farm where he grew up and still lives in the area. And he's actually got some videos, some real life farming videos on his channel that he has recorded. Now he also does Farm Sim 17 videos as well, so he's got those on his channel as well. But he does have some real life farming videos that he has recorded from this. So basically this is the map here on the wall, and I will just kind of go away from that and I'll bring up the map here in the menu here for you to look at. Now I've added a few extra fields here that we own. Field number 17, this is going to be a grass field for us. We're gonna basically go big with grass here on this map and just grow this whole thing so that we have plenty of hay as well as silage to be able to harvest off the map. Now the other thing about the map is that unless we do something different, and I'm going to play the map as true to life as possible, at least the way that it's been sort of described to me in this area. Basically, they grow predominantly corn and soybeans and a little bit of wheat. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be predominantly planting corn and soybeans a very close second, and then we're going to have some wheat for purposes of straw, as well as be able to make a little bit of money as well. So our main farm, which I will kind of show you as we kind of go along, I think we're gonna basically get started planting some grass over there in what's going to become our grass field here in just a moment. But here's our farm silos here. I already pointed out the main house. We've got a couple of silage fermentation silos right here, so love those because that really saves a lot of time and everything, and some headaches and everything to prevent us from getting gray hair and everything with a silage bunker. We've got a built-in or an in-house cow food mixer here. The cool thing about this, from what I understand, is the capacity is scaled back on this, so we're basically only making kind of what we need at a time, instead of kind of the way that I've done, which is kind of load this thing up and let it churn away and produce thousands of liters of silage. It doesn't, we're not going to do that here. We do have two different animal types on this farm. We've got pigs and we've got cows, and we'll most likely have both. Here's some bale storage under here, as well as we have a pig food mixer here. Corn goes here, and then right over here is where our soybeans will go. And yes, this is a modified pig food mixer. Normally you need some root crops to go along with that, but he has modified this. So since we're not growing root crops, since root crops don't typically grow in this area, we're not going to have to worry about that either. So we put in corn, soybeans, and water, and we'll get out pig food. And of course we can store our pig food over here in this silo for extra capacity. We've got seeds, we've got fertilizer. Of course, we've got our barns here for our pigs and our cows and such. And I'll go ahead and shut this gate here because I had it open earlier. And we'll just kind of run through here. We don't have animals yet on the premises. The government foreclosure, basically, they sold all of that, and what we bought was just basically the equipment and the barns and the processing things like the silos and everything. Obviously, we bought, and of course, like I said, we sent Jack out here a bit early just to kind of get things started and get things going. And so he has basically been putting some fertilizer down, and he's currently over in the field that we're headed to now to plant grass. He is plowing over there. And we have a couple of tractors. Of course, we brought our John Deere in from Colorado. Love that John Deere 7530. It is a fantastic tractor. Now, one thing that I will say is I am using the more realistic mod. I have grown to, I think, appreciate and enjoy that mod from playing with it for quite a few hours on Midtown USA. So it will be something that I will continue to have over here on this farm. Now, of course, this is our big field number 17. Now, I was going to mention this a few minutes ago and I failed to do so, but let me go back to our map here that shows our fields. And as you can kind of tell, things are not traditional in any sense of the imagination. I have picked up a few extra fields that you don't normally get when you just start the map, but you know me, I've talked about this before. I like to kind of have a central location of fields, and it kind of felt right to go ahead and add these in. We're not going to do this thing for many years, playing this map and everything, so we're going to kind of go in with it like we want it and play like we want. I am playing with seasons mod, obviously 9 game day seasons, but as you can kind of tell, the boundaries of the fields don't necessarily match up with what we've seen with other maps and everything before. Like field number 19 might kind of be your traditional shaped looking field, but how it kind of bleeds in here with, I think, what would be field number 14. The ebb and flow is just kind of different and it's unique, and I actually quite like it quite a bit. Now, I will talk a little bit maybe later about what some of these grass areas mean as they kind of flow through the fields. From what I understand from watching, we'll get our GPS going here because we do have that functionality in this tractor, and we will slide our course over. Let's see, where's our other line there? We'll slide our course over. This is mainly for flood mitigation and erosion mitigation and everything, the way that they have these grass areas set up, and this was just kind of something that the mod author basically has, or he talked about the fact that this exists on his farm, which again, this is what this map comes from. Let's go ahead and turn on the seeder, and we'll go ahead and lower the seeder, and let's take off. So we are planting grass here on Tazewell County, Illinois map. Again, this is version 2.0, and I know I normally cultivate right after we plow, but since this is all freshly tilled soil, it's not too hard, and so this seeder will do just fine and will allow us to plant our grass seeds right here on top of the plowed furrows. So you might be wondering, well, why a third map on the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, kind of as I come out of character for just a moment. And by the way, I am going to try to role play this series as much as possible, but you know me, I like to talk about other things that's kind of going on as far as the hobby and the simulation genre and all that kind of stuff. Well, I've run into kind of a stumbling block with regards to cattle and crops, and I hit a mission where I think it's mission number 7, where, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if I can proceed. I've got a little bit of a bug that I'm trying to overcome with regards to the game, And I've posted some questions on the forum, and basically what had happened was we've reached the point to where that we can do some harvesting, some corn chaff harvesting, or chopping if you want to call it that. And something is really whacked with the game. It doesn't work the way that it's supposed to. And so I've posted some questions in the forums, and like I said, I hope to kind of get some information maybe soon. But I can't really proceed, so at least for now I'm going to kind of put cattle and crops on hold just for a little while, and then we will see what the answers come, or how the answers come from the forums, and see whether it is something that either I'm doing wrong, or if it's a bug, or if it's a corrupt profile or something. Again, I did have a corrupt profile already in my short time experiencing cattle and crops, and so we'll see what that means. Now, also, you might be wondering about, well, what happens to Snetterton Farm? Well, I still don't know yet what I'm going to do with Snetterton Farm. I will tell you that we're playing this map with 9 game day seasons. We're going to do, again, corn, soybeans, and a little bit of wheat. Obviously, grass for our cows, which we'll be getting cows here in the next day or so. They'll be coming in. But as far as Snetterton Farm is concerned, I think really the 24 game day season thing is just way too long for me. It was a great challenge, and I appreciate the opportunity to play alongside with Farmer Klein and Duckzorly and some of my good friends who are doing it and doing quite well with it. But I think that with my hiatus that I took there in the fall, kind of in the September time frame, I have just kind of I'm maybe a little bit burned out on that map, and I understand that I really didn't play it that long. I think I was able to crank out about 16 or 17, maybe 18 episodes, something like that. So not a whole lot of episodes, and I think we got into midsummer or something like that, if memory serves me correctly. But I think that maybe I just needed a little bit of a change of scenery. I love Stevie's maps, I certainly do. But I think I was just kind of maybe need to get out of the mountain kind of terrain and everything. And I'm really enjoying Midtown USA, and I'm still enjoying Thornton Farm, and we're going to continue both of those just as planned. Still undecided if I'm going to do 2 years on Thornton Farm or maybe just 1 year. And of course, the other thing that I need to sort of determine is exactly, how many, what the frequency of my episode releases will be, whether it will be, 2 episodes of each one per week, which would basically be, 2, 4, 6. That would be 6 episodes a week. Don't know if I can do that. So this one may not be as many episodes, or maybe the episodes won't come out as frequently. I just really wanted to have the opportunity to play this map because, again, I had Eustace Farmer was kind enough to sort of ask on my behalf. He thought that I might enjoy this map. He knows that I like American style themed maps, and I do. I very much do. And so I think that maybe he sought out the permission and everything, and all of that worked out the way that we wanted it to. And so again, I'm kind of enjoying the opportunity to kind of bring you this, and I realize I need to clean up some of the plowing that Jack has missed, and I will do that off camera. We'll get all that cleaned up and everything. But so I really felt like, well, I want to, I think I want to play this map and see what it's all about and everything, and show it to you, because this might be something you might be interested in as well, especially if you like American style maps, and especially one that really does exist. I mean, these the map author, again, the SimStation is the YouTuber that built the map. And he basically, leveraged Google Earth and pulled down the images and everything from Google Earth to lay out the fields, and everything is fairly close to being spot on accurate. He had to make a few sort of creative decisions, I think, when it came to the way that some of the fields are laid out, simply because some of the fields are owned by other farmers in real life in this region, and so the way that he sort of created those within the map itself is maybe a bit unique, but I think it's just a fantastic map, and I like some American style farming, and especially one where I can actually watch some real videos. Farming taking place on this map, on this in real life, is pretty darn cool. And again, kind of taking a little bit of a more relaxed or simplistic approach by only basically harvesting a couple of different types of crops, again, that being corn, which we most likely will do. The majority will probably be corn, but we'll also have enough soybeans to support our pigs, but also sell as well. So we're basically farming to raise some animals, but also farming to make a living as well. So we'll be selling our crops and also using our crops, obviously, in-house or in-farm. So I'm not sure where Jack is. I'm sure he's out there somewhere. It may just be that it's not rendering his position, or maybe he is stuck or something, but that's not going to be a factor, because we're not going to get over that far, at least in this video. I will be taking care of this, or the rest of this, up in off camera. And so looking at our weather forecast there, again, first day of spring, we are playing 9 game days per season. That kind of works out well for me, I think. I think 12 is a bit too much. 3 is obviously too fast, and 6 might also be just a little bit too fast. So 9 seems to work well. So we are going to be doing that. And what else can I tell you? Let's see. So obviously the first few episodes is going to be about planting, because again, we have to get our fields all plowed, and we've got to start getting things done. But of course, we have to wait a little bit before we can plant especially our soybeans. Let's just remind ourselves here what our optimum, 50 degrees for both soybeans and corn. So we've got to wait five more degrees there on our soil temperature before we can start planting corn or soybeans. But grass is obviously okay, so that's why we're heading in here with our grass right now, is to get it planted so that we can take advantage of being able to produce our own hay and our own silage, so we don't have to buy those from other farmers. Because again, when the government steps in, they basically take everything out, and I'm really surprised that they actually left the equipment and sold all of that with the farm. Usually what they will do is they will come in, and the very first thing they will do is they will sell the equipment. They'll basically have almost an on-premise auction where they will sell all the equipment and everything. But they've put everything together, sold the farm, sold the equipment. We caught wind of it and basically jumped on it with our investors and everything, threw down the money that we needed to be able to take action on it. And the animals and everything, you might see that we've got about 100 grand operating capital to work with. That does not include the animals. We have already purchased the animals, and so we're just basically waiting on delivery of those, or really we're just waiting on getting a few more things done before we bring on the animals to the farm, just simply because we know that we have so much work to do, that is just something that, plus we needed to get here, myself and Billy Bob, of course, needed to get here to Tazewell County before we turn animals loose on Jack, because, well, he had his hands full just kind of getting some of the plowing and some of the fertilization stuff going. Plus, a lot of the equipment we've had to work on it. So Jack has been doing things like oil changes and replacing fuel filters and stuff like that, because things were just a mess. So with the more realistic mod, obviously I'm going to step out of character here for just a moment. The more realistic mod, I'm trying to stick with as much of default equipment as possible, so that way that will just help with that mod, and kind of like we're doing on Midtown USA. But I have a few extra mods on this map that I don't normally or I don't have on Midtown USA, so we'll see how that works out. I mean, from what I understand with the more realistic mod, you know, you can still use basically modded equipment. It's just that the more realistic component may not function that well with those mods. Now, of course, there is some information out there on the interwebs on basically converting modded equipment to more realistic. I haven't really looked at any of that, but I may try to take a look at that for some of my favorite stuff, some of the things that I just absolutely feel like I must have with me. But you know, we won't use the pickup too much, and we'll just limit what we do with the mods that we do have here, and just, you know, not worry about it, not sweat the small stuff, I suppose is what I'll say. So anyway, we are coming up on 30 minutes, and of course a couple of these minutes will fall off onto the editing room floor, because essentially they were the jump cuts and stuff when I switch the maps and that sort of stuff around. So we will keep this episode kind of short, and we're going to go ahead, and by the time that we come back, we will have all of this sown in grass, and it will be well on its way to hopefully growing to be a nice healthy grass crop here on Tazewell County. And when we do come back together, then we'll be doing other activities, but again, mainly consisting of sowing seeds. At some point, hopefully the ground temperatures will continue to rise, and then we'll be able to get our corn and our soybeans and everything in the ground. So looking forward to kind of playing this map a little bit differently from the standpoint of, I think a lot of the grains, you know, normally what I do is I will harvest a crop, and I will typically bring that crop back to the main farm to store. But I think a lot of this we're probably going to harvest off the fields, load it into semis, and probably transport it immediately to the sell point and sell that, instead of worrying about bringing it back here and hauling it. You know, hauling it multiple times, there's not much need to really do that. And so well, anyway, I think what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to wrap this episode up, and I'm going to basically thank everyone for watching, and remind you all to go out and check out 3 Dudes Gaming Network as well as PCSG for all of your questions that you might have with regards to not only Farm Sim, but any of the other simulation-based games that you might enjoy. If we don't basically, if we don't have people there that can't answer the questions, then most likely the game doesn't exist. I think we've got a very eclectic membership all the way around of folks that have different experiences and everything on different types of games, different types of simulation-based games. And then also don't forget to check out all of my friends that I have their YouTube channels linked to below the video. All of these guys put out awesome content on a regular basis, and the other great thing about the content is it's family friendly. It's all good, clean fun, and check out those folks. And then as well as, if you want to engage with me a little bit further, if you have questions or whatnot, you can always reach out to me on my Discord server, and the link to that is down below the video as well. So again, folks, take good care of yourselves and each other, and God bless you all. And from Tazewell County, Illinois, thank you for watching, and please tune in again for either another episode here on Tazewell County, or Thornton Farm, or on Midtown USA. and I'll keep my nose to the grindstone on cattle and crops and hopefully find an answer or find a solution to the problem that has been plaguing me there with that mission, and that way we can resume those mission videos. Thank you again for watching. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye.